Today on Election Headquarters, we focus on one of the major flashpoint constituencies, Ayawaso West Wuogon. And with only 35 days to the elections, the NPP has won the seat 5 consecutive times since 2000, with the NDC winning just once in 1996. Well, the 2020 general polls will be interesting as independent candidate Richard Amegache challenges the two major parties, John Dumelo of the NDC and the incumbent Lydia Hassan of the NPP. What differently is he bringing on board to challenge the big wigs? He joins me in the studio right now. Hello, Richard.
Hello, Gifty. So
you look at a constituency that the NPP is very passionate about, a constituency they held for 5 years, a constituency whose member of parliament died with a lot of sympathy votes swinging, obviously, the way of the incumbent. Then you have a very popular actor, John Dumelo, who's standing on the ticket of the very big political party, a very big opposition party, NDC. How do you stand? Where do you think you stand in the scheme of affairs?
Well, thank you, Gifty, for having me, and I want to thank all viewers for making time to be with Richard. I want to look at the statistics. In 2016 election, we had about 81,000 registered voters in Ayawaso West. The winner, Kwame Jakon of the NPP, had 32,000 votes, and Delali Brimpo of the NDC had 22,000 votes. The number of people who didn't vote in Ayawaso West alone was over 33,000, which was more than the number of votes of the NPP. So Ayawaso West may look like an NPP stronghold, but in actual sense, there are a lot of neutrals there who are neither NDC or NPP, and they are in the majority. Who you believe did not vote in the last elections? Yes.
Well, so I don't have contrary statistics here, so I won't be able to engage you, on that. But if you say so, who are you, and how come people don't know about you? I didn't.
Well, a lot of people know about me, okay, but the difference between myself and my major opponents are that they are running on a party ticket where they have to go through primaries. So before the primaries will be done, everybody knows that this is what NDC is presenting and this is what NPP is presenting. And that makes them a little popular over me. But I live in a constituency too, and I started my campaign a while. So a lot of people know about me. Just that, hey, not everybody will hear of you at the same time.
So this silent majority, which you say exists in Ayawaso West Wuogon, which you also say did not vote in the 2016 elections, what is your grand plan to reach out to them? What policy alternatives are you presenting to them? Mind you, this is a very, if you like, elitist constituency. What alternatives are you presenting to them?
Well, my leadership skill and my entire ambition is based on solving problems, the kind of problems that exist in Ayawaso West. And Ayawaso West has some major problems, and one of them is environmental issues.
Okay, so if you've just listed one, and whilst you do the one and break it down, if you can give me like the 3 major problems you think exist.
Environmental issues is key, rental issues is key, and then you have immigration issue also, that is key. Okay. My constituency is kind of different from the others. A lot of people who live in Ayawaso West love to travel. So a lot of them also have immigration issues. I have policy alternative for all of them. Okay,
so you talked about the environmental issues, the immigration issues, and then the rental issues. Let's take briefly to these 3 and what alternatives you are presenting for why you think they should reject John Dumelo and reject Lydia Hassan and come for you.
Well, when you take the environmental issue, to be very honest, the individual constituents in their homes are tidy, but the politicians are the major contributing factor to the environmental issues we have in Ayawaso West.
How?
They put campaign papers, posters, and deface individual properties, litter around the whole constituency. When you go to Ayawaso West Wuogon right now, John Dumelo of the NDC has defaced so many individual properties. He has flooded the whole place with campaign papers, and he doesn't care about the environment. My leader, the MP herself, an incumbent, is doing the same. In fact, she's doing worse. A certain woman in my neighborhood in East Legon painted her house less than 2 weeks ago. By the time she wake up, hey, Dumelo has come to paste her posters. As if that's not enough, the following day, my leader has come to paste hers. And they were going on poster competition on her walls. I mean, how can such an elite constituency be faced with such a low-level environmental issues are defacing properties and littering and all that? So
what's the plan to deal with this?
So I am doing a 100% paperless campaign.
Okay.
I'm not using any paper. So what I'm doing is I'm going to the constituents one-on-one. I'm getting to them on radio, on TV. That's why I'm here. And only banners. And the banners too are fixed temporarily. So just after the election, I can go and remove all of them.
That's dealing with the problem on your individual level. Yeah. But to deal with this as a problem, if you have identified this as a problem within the constituency, then they have to, the alternative you're talking about should be able to address this problem, looking at everybody else, not just you. Yes. So what is that plan?
So with the littering, if I get a nod to be the member of parliament, I want to propose a paperless advertisement law, where it will be ban to use papers for advertisement in order to take care of the environment. Still on the environment, quickly to touch on it.
And if you can, whilst you do that, if you can move on to the next one, because I've run out of time. Let's move on to the next issue, which is rent issues and immigration issues as well.
Yes. But let me touch quickly on the environment, just a little bit. With the environment too, you know, Ayawaso has experienced a lot of flood issues, especially with the West Legon and Jolu. When it rains just a little bit, the whole place is flooded. And the problem is that we don't have good drainage systems. So I'm proposing that if I get the nod to be a member of parliament, I'll see how best, I'm an engineer by profession, so I'll see how best to, you know, come up with underground drainage system. And all this drainage should be interlinked so that, I mean, there's a major reservoir that processes all the ways that pass through the drainages, which are on my plan. Moving on to the rental issues. 40% of all residents in Ayawaso are renting properties. Less than 30% own the properties they are living in, and about 15% or more are also rent dependent, as they are living with their parents or, you know, friends and all that. And most of the people that are renting are having problems. So
we know about the problem. I've run out of time. Help us with your solution is the 40% that you mentioned. What else? And then
so I am proposing a law that we call Fair Rent Index Law. And with this Fair Rent Index Law, what we'll do is that at each location, the rent will be standardized. So based on the nature of the property and the location, there will be a uniform price. But this cannot be achieved overnight.
What about the issue, the third issue that you mentioned, the immigration issues? How would you intend to deal with them?
Yes, the immigration issue normally deals with unfair visa denial. A lot of the people that are denied visas go like, when they go to the embassies, they are denied visa on the grounds of they not having travel history. And that reason is quite ridiculous for me, because if the person doesn't get opportunity to travel the first time, how do they build a history? So how does the MP help in solving that kind of problem? Ghana needs strong foreign policies. Our foreign policies are weak. So the embassies that come into the country to operate, they come with their own laws, which supersede our laws. So I'm going to raise a competent conversation on the floor of parliament to see how best we can come up with a comprehensive foreign policy that will put our people ahead. That means that if any constituent is denied visa on unfair grounds, they have to refund at least a portion of their money to them, which are all part of, you know, the ambitions that I have for the constituency, and many other more, like consistent water supply law. You know, I'm also looking at it that the University of Ghana have innovation and business center, where everybody in the constituency that have innovative idea go there and get some funding to, you know, start up whatever idea they have. I hope that the people of Ayawaso West Wuogon Constituency consider you worthy of their votes, and I wish you all the very best with it. So when did you start your campaign, by the way? Well, actively 4 months ago. 4 months? Yes. 4 months to the elections? Yes. Or so like that would be like 5 months to the elections? Yes. Why? You didn't decide early? No, I was researching. Oh, wow. I was making sure that when I come out, I'm really going to get a good response. Have you heard people say that a section of the two political parties have thrown you in to divert some of the votes? Well, I've heard it, but it's usual propaganda, you know. Really? In any election. Do you belong to the NPP? No, absolutely. Do you belong to the NPP? No, I'm non-partisan. I've never, join any political party my whole life.
You have not been thrown into split the vote?
They came, to both of them came to buy me out, and I told them in the face, they should also come and join me. I'm not the kind of person you can buy. Okay. So, I mean, that point of putting me in to take vote is no, a non-starter.
Richard, thank you very much for coming. I wish you all the best.
Can I have a word with my constituent?
Let's see. Let's make it 30 seconds. A minute is very expensive here.
Okay. People in Ayawaso West, this time let's change the narrative and choose an independent mind to lead the constituency to bring the kind of change that we need. On 22nd of November, my rally will be coming off. Venue is here to be announced. I mean, banners and a whole lot of publicity will come about my rally. When you hear it, please come and give your support and let's make it big. The NDC and the MPP think that they are the only people on the scene and all that. Let's prove to them that we are sick and tired of the kakitocracy they've always engaged in, and they are not inuring to the benefit of the ordinary Ghanaian. Thank you so much. Okay, so I've been talking to Emmanuel Richard Amagache, who wants to be Member of Parliament for Ayawaso West Wuogon Constituency. He wants to contest the MPP and the NDC candidates who have been brought forward. Well, talking about elections,